All right, all right. Hello, teammates, everyone in cyber world. Welcome to Financial Coach for You. This is our weekly motivational message. I'm Financial Coach Ray, founder, CEO of Financial Coach for You. Every single week we meet here virtually. So you can actually use your smartphone, your laptops, your iPads, desktop, just to check in and chime in and see what we're all about. Uh, these are the times where people do not like going to meetings. They do not like getting into their cars and going to a building. It's easier for people to chime in using their internet, and so this is what we're doing. We're taking advantage of what's being there for us. So anyway, feel free to use your chat feature to the right of your screen to communicate with us. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in. At every show that we do here, our goal is to have you take away little nuggets that you could implement immediately, either personally or share it with someone that you may come in contact with. Knowledge is power, but applying that knowledge is priceless. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my awesome co-host, Mr. Wakil Serrano. He is actually logging in from Texas. And Mr. Serrano, he is our team leader out there. He actually started our first office in Texas, so this is huge. He's also a motivational speaker. He's going to open us up in prayer, and then we'll just get right into it. So, Coach Wakil, I'm turning the platform over to you.
All right, thank you, Sister Ray. I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We could all bow our heads. Dear Father God, we come to you as humble as we know how. We just thank you for the opportunity to be here first and foremost, dear God. Thank you for waking us up this morning, keeping us in our right minds, giving us the strength to move forward, dear God. I ask that you just camp your angels around those of us who may be sick or ill, or family members who may be in the same condition, dear God, that you nurse them back to even greater health than what they were before they were down there, Father God. I ask that you just prepare our hearts and our minds for this training tonight, that we take it in and we act upon it, dear God, and that we prepare ourselves for the upcoming work week, that we move forward and continue to grind hard and just be productive about our lives and about ourselves, dear God. That we don't get so tangled up in one thing that we forget about the other things that we've committed to or promised ourselves to do, dear God. That we find the time to continue to have a flexible schedule and be there for those needs that we deem necessary, dear Father God, in our life. And to maybe clean our plate if it's too heavy right now, dear Father God. We ask you this in your most wonderful name. We thank you and we love you. Amen.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Wakil, for this awesome prayer. And it's so important to open up in prayer. And so we're going to get right into it. Today we're going to talk about understanding people while you're building your team. Everyone out there wants to build their team. They want to start their business. And so what type of people do you bring on your team? In order for you to be successful in your business, you have to figure out how to build a team. Not just an ordinary team, but you want a team that work well together. I know that it can be difficult to do, because when you create team, that means you're bringing people together, people that have different skill sets, people that have different personalities, and people that have different cultural background too. And so it is a very complex thing to do. So here are five common things that we're going to go through. We might not get into all of it, but we're going to go through some common threads that show you how to approach team building. So let's talk about the first thing, Raquel, playing into individual strengths. What can you add about that? Looking at someone's strengths and bringing them on board.
Well, regardless of what you do, you want to have multiple areas of interest, and certain people have strengths in areas that some other people may not. So finding out what their strengths are can help you position your people in the right, spots, so that as you guys move forward, you can handle certain areas that you may not have time for. I.e., you have some people who are strong with communicating with others. You have some people who are good with talking on the phone. You have some people who are good with typing, writing, making things look professional. You have some people who are, good with cameras and pictures and things like that, media. You need all those are different strengths that you yourself would probably, be drained or drawn out trying to do all that. So that's the importance of having people in your team who can handle some of the things that not saying that you wouldn't have time for it. It's just that it's better for you as a leader or as somebody who's pushing everybody forward to make sure that you have these other areas handled so that you can continue to be a good leader that you want to be.
Right. That is awesome. And then also, looking at people's strength on that topic, on that same note, you need to understand that each individual of the team, they have their strengths. Uh, each person, you have to put them in a position where they can shine. For example, Coach Ted. This guy loves to crunch numbers. He loves to put together financial game plans for people. That's what he's really good at. So he won't be able to do his best if I put him on stage in front of an audience, having him speak and having him explain things. That's just not his forte. You know, he is also extremely organized. I'm not the organized one. So now we get along great because where I'm weak at, he's strong. Where he's weak at, I'm strong. And so we work together, balancing each other out. And so when you're thinking about bringing people on board, look at people's individual strengths. Ask them, what are you comfortable in doing? And you can actually see what the person is. Sometimes you plan in activities and there's this person right here that has such a creative mind. They'll be great in planning activities. And so you'll fit that person there. And that is so important. The next point I want to talk about is encouraging transparency. Teams, when you're building a team, it's a lot like a family. Look at your family dynamics right now. You got people with all different personalities, you know, and if people do not get along on the team, you have to first let them try to figure it out. But if it goes south, if you see it's not making any progress, then you gotta, get involved. But you don't ever want to get into the middle of he said, she said, because then that's gonna sink your ship. That's gonna be bad business. Okay. So your primary job is to help your team members understand each other better. Do you have anything you want to add on being transparent when building a team, Wakil?
Um, yeah, transparency. There's a lot behind transparency. You definitely want to be able to see through things, though. Sometimes, as we build, you forget sometimes to see everything all the way through. Not that you're lacking in certain areas. It just brings me back to the other point about your strength. As a leader, you may see a house. You can see the building and everything's beautiful, but to see the walls and the structure and the staircase and the windows and all that come to play, you can't really focus as much on that. You can't really see through it. So you have to be transparent in things that need to get done. You have to be able to turn your back and trust somebody else to do it for you so that it's going to happen. Versus you saying, hey, I'm going to stand here no matter what until everything gets done, and forgetting that while you're standing still, you're not doing anything. What I'm saying? You're holding yourself back from getting things done, from continuing to move people forward, from moving yourself forward. So, I mean, that's how I personally feel about, being transparent about things happening around you.
Right, and that also, let your team members know that you're real. You're down to earth. You're not just a fake and phony. Another area is establishing ground rules. Your team need to know how you like to operate. They need to know your style of management, your style of teaching and training. I'm a solution oriented leader. I am fine with talking about problems with an approach, but I insist that everyone, contribute ideas for resolutions. Uh, don't just approach me and say, Coach Ray, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. When issues come up, trust me, they will. I don't want to get caught up in whose fault it is or why it happened. I prefer to take time to do that, at an appropriate time. But what I'm known to say is, don't bring me a problem without a solution. And I don't want to know why we can't do it. I want to focus on how we can do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I personally feel like I'm more of a problem get to the point type leader. You bring me the problem. Okay, well, what's some of the solutions? Okay, well, let's get to the point. Let's decide on what we want to do rather than sit here and keep debating about the millions of ways you can do something. There's always going to be a million and one ways to solve a problem, but until you actually solve it, you haven't done anything yet. So I get easily irritated if I'm sitting around people and they're like, "Oh, we could do it this way, or we could do it that way." I'm like, "Can we just pick a way and go with it?" It. Sometimes I understand that, or they could have been a better way. There's always could have been a better way. As long as we got the job done, is my purpose to make sure that we move forward and continue to keep moving. Um, it's kind of it's kind of hard to put yourself in a predicament of what you would have done until you actually get put into that situation actually happens. We sit back in our mind a lot, and sometimes we create problems as leaders and say, well, how would I handle that if this happened? How would I handle that if that happens? But until it actually happens and we've handled it, we can't say, yeah, I've had experience doing this before, or I know how to handle that situation, because we haven't done it yet. So when people come to you for guidance as a leader, even though you've never probably done it, it's your job to show that confidence that we can get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes a really good leader. There's a lot of things in life I have yet to have done yet. But if somebody came to me today saying, hey, do you think you can get it done? Sure, yeah. Let's take a look at it. Let's just try to get into it. Am I going to lead the way even though I don't know what I'm doing? Yeah, but that's part of me taking that leap of faith, that step out.
Right. And it's good to brainstorm and to come up with solutions together and not just be that one-sided leader that is my way or the highway, because everyone has a part to play. Everyone has solutions, and just giving them the opportunity to be open and not be scared to share their ideas. Because everyone's style is different. I'm not saying no two leaders are the same. The way you would run your team with Killer is a lot different than the way I run my team, because our personalities are different, and it's also based on the type of work that you do. So the important thing is that your team, they know what your preferred style is, and so everyone is thinking towards the same goal. No one is out there on left field. We all here zone in, coming in together to solve solutions the right way. Another point I want to talk about is it's so important for you as a leader, for your people to know that you have their back. As a leader of a team, your team members must know that. You know, you are their greatest supporter. Are they going to fail at some things? Absolutely. Are you going to just drill them in the hole, or knock them in the ground because of it? Absolutely not. You have to see that your primary job is to remove obstacles that in your team's way. If you see someone is heading down the wrong path, you as the leader have to get in there and put up the roadblock and stop them from going over the cliff, because they are part of your team. They are part of your family. You don't want to see them fail. Some of your team members know um, that they have your unconditional support when you do that. And so you move forward with confidence, and the mission, you win at your mission. Um, do you want to chime in on that, on how important it is for your team members to know that you have their back no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, it's really important to know that they have your back. I mean, another good area of interest would be to also let your teammates know where you may be weak at, because we're not perfect. We don't have everything under our belts. So letting them know some of your weaknesses along the way, when those things approach, your teammate is aware that, hey, leader already said before that he or she, wasn't too strong in this area. Maybe one of us can step up in this part and show our leadership skills and help, continue the team on. So that's important too. Like Sister Ray said, you have to be able to move around a lot and lead from the front and back of your team. You can't just be that pinnacle focus all the time, moving things forward. It's going to require adjustment of seats. You switching around, you putting people in the front seat to see how they react, how they want to handle things, so that you're doing the proper thing as a leader, and that's building other leaders. You're building successors. You want people to become leaders like you. You want people to become better than you. And if you can lead that way, you can help people take those steps. Then you feel better as a leader yourself, knowing that you're able to train other leaders. See what I'm getting at? You can't be that person who loves the power so much that you don't want to share it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be always that, well, I'm CEO so and so, and I'm just going to be that way forever. There's nobody else that can be my CEO. It's not true.
Right,
Anybody can
right,
be a CEO if they train properly. But
right,
you have to make sure that because you put your focus into that person or persons, that you're even more proud of yourself that you were not only able to lead yourself and people behind you, but lead others into greatness to where they can lead others and continue to lead and so forth. You start an epidemic of things happening just because you decided to lead.
Right. And another thing, Wakil, it's important if you know someone is weak in a certain area, it's important to partner them with someone that's strong in that area so that they learn from each other and it balances out. I think that's awesome, an awesome thing to look at when you building your team as well. And how about incentives? Incentives. I mean, I look at my children. I know that some people pay their kids to do chores. I don't. I don't because that's just their job. But I would give them incentive for doing what they're supposed to do. And an incentive don't necessarily have to be monetary. It could be a treat. It could be something. But when you're dealing with your team, folks that are working on in your business, trying to help your business become profitable, it's good to recognize them by giving them some sort of incentive. It could be a day off, maybe. Um, it could be, I don't know, a T-shirt, a pen, recognition in front of others, a pat on the back. All these are different types of incentives that your workers, your employees, your team members just gravitate. They just love. So and then you can also rotate the different types of incentives. Another thing is you can have them uh, write down what type of incentive they would like to have, within reason. If they say a trip to Hawaii, they like throw that one out. But reasonable incentives, have them write it and put it in a bucket or something, so that if they hit a certain milestone, they accomplish their goal, they get to pick something out of that hat, just to make it fun.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely think that whole element of surprise thing really boosts people confidence, because you have some people who are on the job and, they're just working and working and working. And it feels like, only time you get any type of incentive is in a monetary form. And that's never bad, of course, because we all want more money. But, even that moment of time where the boss steps up and says, hey, I just want to give recognition to Sister Ray. She's been doing, X, Y, and Z for this many months now. And I know we never paid too much attention to it because the company has been so busy. But I just want to take this moment to recognize her for all her accomplishments and, applause. We're having a lunch today because of her, in celebration of her, and thanking her for this. Those things really matter a lot. It changes your whole view on your work ethic and what you've done. Because you go from, oh, I was just working, to, wow, I was working and didn't even notice I was being monitored. I didn't think I was being watched. I was just doing my job to the best of my ability. And somebody had always been watching me. And that's important, to remind people that, we're watching you because we know you're working hard, but we also want to make sure that you continue to keep up that good work because of the fact that people are watching you. It doesn't always have to be high ups. It could be people that are new to the job, just getting in, and they see you, so focused and so hard working, and you're making them want to work even harder, kind of work the same way you are. So you never know who's watching you. You never know what's going on around you. So when those incentives are given to you, you're just like, wow, I didn't, I had no clue, but I appreciate that. I guess I'm keep doing what I'm gonna do.
Right, right. And that is really, really, something to really think about, building your team and moving forward. What you end up having is a group of loyal um, teammates, a group of loyal teammates that will stick by you through thick or thin, because sometimes the business, not bringing in enough profits or whatever, and you have to sometimes do twice as much to get the equal results. And what you end up having is people that are willing to go to bat for you and say, you know what, I'm there with you, thick or thin. I'm going to help you. And so when you get to the point where your business is flourishing, not forgetting the people that help you build this. That's so important, because I've seen businesses just fail. They just fail because um, people that help them build the business, they get rid of them. Where's the foundation? Where's the loyalty? Here it is in financial coach for you. I know the ones that put out the hard work. I know the ones that work the long hours. I know the ones that show up, for practice. And I always say, part of being a team is showing up for practice. And if you are sacrificing your time and you're showing up every single day for practice, and I said, nah, I'm not putting you into the game. Well, how you gonna feel? How's that gonna make you a better teammate? You'll be like, nah, I don't think I want to be on that team anymore. Because people tend to work harder when they know that you care. They don't care how much you know. They care about how much you care. That's the whole thing. You got to treat people with dignity. Treat them the way you would like, or better than the way that you like to be treated. And so I know we're going to wrap this up. This is a short training, but I know you wanted to touch on some other areas on how you can get to know people, Wakil, how you can put the right people on your team. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I just wanted to open up real quick. We're going to be talking more our next meeting on what's called DISC. The indication DISC of how you can how some jobs or businesses go about grouping certain people together based on this four-letter acronym. I can give you a few brief words just to get your mind running real quick. Second. Just for instance, you want to have the letter D will be for people who are like decisive, who are confident, but it also wants to talk about the weaknesses of people. Some people who are impulsive, or they have critical thinking, not in the, well, critical, I mean, that's kind of a plus and minus. We'll talk more about that one. Another one we jump into will be like, I, for example, charismatic or passionate. So we'll talk about various different things of how businesses really look at these people's characteristics before they put them together and figure out, okay, if I have somebody who's really charismatic and really outgoing, and somebody who is very smart, has a lot of ideas, but they're scared, to put them out there, boom, I could put two and two together because somebody's going to feed somebody. And that person is going to get that strength, from that charismatic person and say, you know what, maybe I can be as strong as you with my good ideas, and I can take from you. They're going to give and take from each other. And that's what businesses really look at when they're talking to people. So we'll definitely talk more about this at the next meeting. Back to you, Sister Ray.
All right. Yeah, and businesses use these types of evaluations more and more, just so they get a feel for who they are hiring. Um, you'd be surprised. Most businesses, they will check and they will see exactly what type of person you are by taking these tests. HR will give you a test to take. They're trying to see, is she crazy? Or can she work along? Or can she work as a team? They can tell all that from these little analysis and these little things. Okay, so we're gonna wrap things up. Next time we meet, we'll talk more about the DISC analysis. And so, financial coach for you, we bring you valuable information that you need that will help you be all that you can be. We are ready and available to meet you wherever you are at and put together a detailed financial game plan for you, no matter what your financial situation looks like. If you're dreaming of one day starting your own business, we can definitely help lead you in the right direction. If you're serious about building your financial house, reach out and take the first step. Don't wait until it's too late to get help. Let me tell you, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So we teach financial literacy to every single one, young or old. You could reach us at financial coach, the number 4, the letter U.net. Fill out a survey questionnaire. If you have any questions or concerns, contact me directly. My number is 619-357-6558, or email me, Ray at, that's RAE, at financial coach, the number 4, the letter U.net. Coach Wakil, you want to give out your contact information?
Yeah, you can reach me at WAKEEL at Financial Coach. The letter 4, the number U.net. You can text me or call me at 619-792-6790 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Back to you, Sister Ray.
All right, all right. And that's Wakeel, WAKEEL at Financial Coach. The number 4, the letter U.net. And he is coming in, he's chiming in from Texas. This is the state that he resides in. And we are virtual. We're able to build in all 50 states, including Hawaii. So give us a call if you're listening to this recording and you want to get involved with our company. Visit our website, which is Financial Coach. The number 4, the letter U.net. Click on the Mastermind tab and look at our company overview. Like what you see, then just get in contact with us. I'm going to turn this over to you, Coach Wakil, for any closing comments and to close us out in prayer. Until then, see you next time.
All right, thank you, Sister Ray. Only closing comments I have is just to, really make sure that you, as you go out there to be a leader, that you have really good characteristics because you are taking other people's lives and what they think in your hands, and you may be affecting people a lot more than what you think. Something as simple as getting some paperwork or getting a business started may be simple to you if you've done it before, but to the untrained eye, you're everything. Every word you say, everything you teach is key to that person. So you want to make sure you're giving them good nuggets so they can reteach, and give them back out to the people that they want to bring onto their teams and they want to train. That's all I have for closing remarks. If we could please bow our heads. Dear God, we just thank you for this opportunity to come and be able to use these virtual tools that we have here with this great advancement in technology, dear God, that we can talk to multiple people. We can talk throughout all 50 states, even all over the world, dear Father God, and just really communicate to people, help get inside of their homes and create that financial stability that they really need, dear Father God. Ask that you open up all hearts and minds, that we take this information and really use it and pass it on to our teammates and really encourage them to grow and develop and become great leaders and build their own teams so that we can have Financial Coach for You worldwide, dear Father God. I ask that you just watch over us, give us safe traveling mercies to and from work this week, there, Father God, and just constantly keep your angels over us, there, Father God. We stay reminded every day of your grace and your mercy, and we just thank you for it, and we love you. We ask you all this in your most precious, wonderful name. We love you. Amen.
Amen. Have a good one.